Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan, he's a Corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And it's turning out that like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every week, I have something. I can't do this. I'm out of the house so early in the morning. It's like I have some kind of weird job at a prep school, which was the worst job I ever had in terms of timing and a lot of things. It was rewarding, but not enough pay, and working 7 days a week for 9 months of the year, it kills you. Anyway, so today we're going to do a fun thing. We're going to do a little dog quiz, and Danny, you're the only one I can see saying anything there, so you get to see if you can answer these quick questions about dogs. And this is a fun quiz, and I have to say the answers I have may not be 100% true. They are my opinion and the opinions of others, but there could be some discrepancies. So, who would like to guess what is the smartest dog in the world? Oh, it looks like we have a few more people. What is the smartest breed of dogs? What do you guys think? Anyone? They're stumped. It's the kind of dog you have, right? The dachshund. James, what kind of dog do you think is the smartest dog in the world? Of course, I would say Corgis, but they're not it. Hi, you guys. Anybody guesses on smartest dog? This one's actually pretty straightforward, although Pomeranians. That's right. The smartest dog is the kind you have. You know what? I don't think that's wrong, Jim, and James, because, you know, I learned about how smart animals are from spending time with rabbits. And a lot of people don't think rabbits are that smart, but I taught my rabbits to do a lot of things people's chihuahuas can't do. So I think the potential of dogs' intelligence and animals' intelligence in general is limitless, and we're just so dumb we don't know how to figure it out. But common knowledge says that the Border Collie is the most intelligent of dogs, mostly because a retired psychologist has studied his pet dog, Chaser, who's a famous Border Collie, and she knows the names of over, 1,200 objects, and she has also demonstrated that she can do what we consider novel thinking by throwing out 5 toys she knows the name of, and then one that she's never seen before, and saying, "Get me the new one." And she will go through the pile and pick out all the ones that are the ones she knows, and she brings the new one, which may have a new name. You know, its name may be Sylvester, but she is able to pick through a pile of like lots of them, like 30 of them, and pick out the one whose name she doesn't know. And so that's novel thinking. So this wonderful Border Collie and this guy who's been studying her, really just initially he had his students doing experiments on cognition with her. And they were teaching her so much. Yorkies, right? Yorkies are smart too. They all are. I mean, I have a friend with Border Collies and Corgis, and you know, the Border Collies are so high energy. And their way of learning, I see, is when you ask for something, they try 45 different things in 2 seconds. Whereas a lot of other breeds of dogs, including my Corgi, he kind of waits, he kind of thinks, he kind of watches me, kind of figures it out, and then he makes a couple of guesses. So does that mean the Border Collie's smarter? No, they're just a different kind of dog. They're very eager. Love his flower. I got that at one of the pet expos. So Border Collies are commonly considered the smartest dogs. Years ago, people used to say poodles. I have worked with lots of poodles, and I do not understand poodles enough myself to talk about poodles' intelligence because I'm a herding dog girl. And I have to say, spending time with my sister's Cavaliers, I've been able to teach them cute little things that my sister doesn't have them do in like 5 minutes. So anybody who thinks those are just fluffy little lap doodles, you know what? I don't think anybody's tried to teach a Cavalier to do a lot. And there are people doing agility with them, and after practicing agility with Tristan for some time now, I can tell you, your dog has to be pretty smart to do agility. I don't think you could get a 6-year-old to do what these dogs do in agility very easily. There's the cooperation level, but still the concentration and the focus on the jumps and on you and on the obstacles. Watching these dogs yesterday that are really fast, just the tiniest change in their person can send a dog through a tunnel instead of over the jump next to it. And the dogs obviously know words because they know tunnel, walk it, walk over it, weave it, weave it, weave it. They know all these words for their things to do. And I don't think I could teach a person to do this without a lot of work, especially a kid. So, what's the worst table food you can give your dog? Now, we all know listening here that any table food is probably good for your dog unless it's marinated in salt and spices and, toxic foods for your dog. Anybody want to venture a guess what the worst table food is you could give your dog? Once you know the answer, it's kind of obvious. Bailey is half, we think that he's part Border Collie. Yes, well, if he's hyper and likes to work, he's probably part Border Collie. And there are plenty of, certainly in Europe, there's plenty of rescues that are part Border Collie. So anybody want to guess what the worst food from the table is to give your pet? It is something, hint, hint, that I never eat. And you'll laugh when you hear it. The worst thing is sushi. Because of the bacteria, the hard difficulty digesting it, the potential for it to have something bad in it, all of these things added together, and then a lot of things that aren't good for dogs, or sometimes with human sushi. Dogs can eat seaweed, but they can't eat a lot of the other things that are in sushi. So to me, that when I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah. So, like I said, things marinated in salt and spices, Cajun pork barbecue. Probably not the best thing to give your dog, but sushi would be worse. This question I think is really cute. What types of dogs sleep the most? Any guesses? I actually knew this, and I don't know how I know, but it's just from knowing these breeds. Anybody got a breed of dog that they think sleeps all the time, or a neighbor's dog or a friend's dog? I don't think it would be a herding breed. Anybody? Any guesses? Sleepiest dog? The crickets are chirping. Nobody knows. Any guesses? Sleepy dogs? I'll give you a hint. One of them's really big, and one of them is classically depicted in cartoons as being lazy and slow. Both of yours sleep a lot. Yeah, a lot of old dogs sleep a lot. My mom says her schnauzer sleeps all day now. A bulldog? Close. Bulldogs, the bulldogs I've known usually are with guys that look like bulldogs, and they're little tanks, and they just like trot around behind their guy. Lazy Pomeranians sleep the most. So one of the breeds that sleeps the most is the Newfoundland. And when you think about where they come from, where it's really cold, two things you need when you are living in a very cold environment like a polar bear. You need to be round. The most heat-conserving body shape is round, and you need to not move too much. And when you think about it, a Newfoundland is ideally suited for very, very cold weather. And I have known a few St. Bernards. They're a little more playful than a Newfie, so I don't know that I would put them in the sleepy group, but I bet an older St. Bernard is not too active either. So Newfies like to sleep, and all the ones I've known are just like big black carpets, which is good because they have a lot of hair and it sheds out, and your house would be covered if your Newfie was shaking and running around the house. So any guesses on the other breed? Kind of looks like a bulldog, but a little more stretched out. Tristan, you know a few of these. He says, I have, and I've tried to bite them to make them run so we can play, and they won't move. It is the Basset Hound. And when you think about all the cartoons, didn't Elmer Fudd have a Basset Hound? He was always trying to get that dog to do things, and he was so droopy and tired. And, when you think about their body shape, how can a Basset be as active as a Border Collie? It would take so much work. He's got those stubby little short legs and that long, big body, way bigger proportionately than even a fat Corgi would be. And then the ears, the giant ears they have to drag around, all the droops in their faces. They're very different from a bloodhound. That's a very active dog, and that dog needs to be able to run and use his scent skills and all of the wonderful things that his body has developed to be able to scent. But Basset Hounds, they're nose-scenting dogs. Their ears are there to waft up the scent, and they kind of amble. They don't run through the woods like any of the other kinds of hounds, a coon hound or a bloodhound. So Bassets are considered one of the sleepiest dogs, and certainly Cartoonland has shown us that. Anybody got any places where they bring their dogs on vacation that they would consider a great place to bring your pet? Any pet hotels any of you guys go to? My client who's coming in a couple hours goes to a hotel in Boston that takes pets. And she's got a little dachshund named Lucy who's now blind. And that hotel, and I don't remember the name of it, it's in the middle of Cambridge, I think, near Harvard. But it's a lovely place, and they keep some of the dogs like Lucy who are friendly behind the desk during the day, so that they're not just sitting in their rooms. And they give you a little pillow and a bowl and some dog treats, and have water for the dog. And I think the store there even has a variety of things that you can buy for your dog, including some foods and treats. So does anybody know any other hotels like that? Yeah, Jim and James' house. All right, yeah, my house. The dog is living in a hotel life all the day. Pampered, spa days, massages. And somebody tried to get me to go down to the MGM in Springfield, which is our new casino, to offer dog spa treatments for, the high rollers that come in. And I was like, oh, I don't know. These guys are drinking, they're gambling. Is it gonna be safe? Am I gonna have my own room? Am I gonna be in their room? Or, it's 3 a.m. What kind of dogs are they gonna be? Rotties probably, pits maybe, bulldogs, kind of high roller gambling guy dogs, maybe a bunch of little fluffy lap dogs for their girlfriends. But it just didn't seem like a good idea. So I have not done that. But Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas has a canine concierge. And that dog will come and take your dog for a walk when you go out for dinner, or that concierge will come and take your dog out. And the person is like an on-staff dog attendant, which I think is pretty fun. So if you go to Caesar's Palace in Vegas and you want to fly there with your little Poms, Jim and James, you can go stay there and have your dog get concierge service. But of course, staying at home and giving your dog that service yourself is probably just as good for the dog, right, Tristan? Do you want to fly around? He says, I'm good. Boy, he's on his dental drops like every other night because he's learned that if he goes to bed early and doesn't come back down, I won't wake him up and drag him out from under the bed to put them on. And so his teeth are just kind of going downhill. It is amazing how good those dental drops are. So that's the end of our little dog quiz today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for your comments, everyone. And tomorrow is Friday. We are leaving for the Cape, so I don't know if I'll have time to do this before I go. We might have a little short one, and then I'll be down there, and I'll try to do something there depending on the weather and what I'm doing. I'm going down there for a friend's birthday, and we have a whole bunch of events scheduled for that, so I don't know how busy I'll be, but I think some of my dachshund pals will be there. We might try to get them on Facebook Live because they have a lot of interesting things to say, those dachshunds. And I'm hoping I can turn them loose in the backyard to look for any vermin. They are really good at finding vermin. Nothing like a dachshund or a terrier to find stuff. So, and the ticks have been really bad. You guys be careful. I can't reshare my post about tick solutions, but I might just make a new one because it is so critical. And I have had to use the rose geranium on him. The first time it has not been 100% effective. I mean, they're crawling on him, but they're not attaching. The kin and kind, same thing. They're crawling on him, but they aren't attaching. But boy, I've had like 3 crawling around on me. I hate that. What do you think, Biscuits? Got dachshunds today, got kitties coming, gotta go teach yoga to the old guys. It's a busy day. St. Augustine, very dog friendly. You know, Pat, I've heard that before. And of course, my beloved Provincetown, Massachusetts, extremely dog friendly. Bowls at every store, treats at most of the stores. You can bring your dog in shopping at most of the stores. Dogs can run on the beach without a leash. In some areas with a leash, in other areas that nobody pays attention to. Very dog friendly town. And I know St. Augustine, I've heard that about St. Augustine too. So thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great day. If you have any other things that you can think of that you'd like to post, go ahead and do that. And we will see you tomorrow, we hope. Thanks for joining us. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.